Hi guys, welcome back. Today's video is a response to a comment that I got recently. It's an email from an employee to their employer asking that they be separated from their perpetrator pending investigation. What I'd like to do is step through this draft a little at a time and see how we can improve on it. I changed some of the details because I'm not trying to call anybody out. I mean, I've written my share of emails like this, so I'm just taking this as an opportunity to learn to communicate with our employer about what we need without shooting ourselves in the foot. We all have our own way of communicating, so I'd like this to be a team effort. So as you're watching this, think about whether you do the same thing that I would do or something different, and let us know. So now, let's check out this draft. I haven't seen any progress on my original complaint, and I'm still being harmed. The harm that's still happening is severe and damaging. Anyone in my position would be harmed by it. It's pervasive and happening almost daily. Not exactly how I'd say it, but it makes some important points. I haven't heard from you since my complaint. I'm still being harmed. It's severe and it's happening almost every day. I think I'd have been a little more specific, like what exactly is continuing? Is it harassment, retaliation, or what? And how is it severe? Is it degrading, humiliating, physically threatening? But we definitely want to stick to the necessary details, like harassment, instead of calling out every little thing they've ever said to us. The more unnecessary details we throw in, the more likely we are to say something that they can use against us. If you had separated us in the beginning, this wouldn't be happening, because this person wouldn't have been able to continue harming me. If we're not separated now, I feel things may be biased or incomplete, so separation is the best option. I think it's a bad idea to lead with what feels like an accusation against the person we're asking for help. It pretty much guarantees a defensive response and wipes out any chance that they're going to want to help us. And later on, if we end up at EEOC or in court, and we want to use this email as proof that they knew the harassment or whatever was continuing and did nothing to protect us from further harm, well, we want to look cooperative in it. And we're dancing all around what we're really asking for. I mean, did we actually ask them to separate us here? Our employer's going to say no. They didn't understand this as a request. And that often works for them. It's better to just be direct and ask, hey, could you separate me from this person pending investigation of my complaint? And the same thing with our concerns. We can just be direct. If we're not separated, I'm concerned that this person is going to continue harming me and that they may unduly influence my investigation. I'm not sure what happened between you and I earlier this week, and I'm not sure who your boss is or if you're the owner, but if you have HR's phone number, I need it. Okay, the first thing we're doing here is admitting that our perpetrator isn't the only one we have problems with. And that can help our employer prove that we're the problem because we're the common denominator. And whenever we communicate with anyone in management, we need to understand what their role is in the organization, because if we don't, how do we know we're asking the right person for help? And is there anything more Karen than I need to speak to your manager? Do we think of Karen as a reasonable person? And reading between the lines here, I see a mistaken assumption that a lot of us have. That if we low-key threaten enough people, eventually somebody's going to be so afraid of a lawsuit that they'll give us what we want. In reality, I think most officials are plenty scared just having to deal with a discrimination complaint. They don't want to be the one that messes that up. So trying to scare them even more can backfire. It could actually push them toward elevating our complaint themselves and letting HR and the attorneys deal with us. Here again, it's better just to be direct and ask, if you can't help me, can you please direct me to someone who can? I think separation is best until something gets worked out. I just need to know when and how that's going to happen, because if it isn't soon, I'm going to end up in therapy. Maybe just ask, when can I expect a response back from you? I definitely skipped the part about ending up in therapy. I mean, if you need therapy, get it and save the receipts for later. But I may need therapy sounds like unnecessary drama. By the way, my job duties were changed by someone, which is obvious retaliation. How do you know if it's obvious retaliation if you don't even know who did it? Plus, if retaliation is a concern, we should have included it with our other concerns, right up front. Throwing it in at this point sounds a little bit like we're just throwing spaghetti at a wall. I begged, pleaded, and cried. It has to stop because I'm not quitting again over her or you. Begging, pleading, and crying aren't really appropriate for the workplace. We may think we're making a point about how much they're harming us, but in reality, what we're doing is making ourselves look unprofessional and maybe even unstable. And I'm not quitting again? When was the last time you got upset and quit? Is this a pattern for you? Kind of makes you look like the problem. Once you've crafted your email to say what you need to in the best possible way, before you hit send, take a minute to consider that while an email like this could help you with your case later on, it could also backfire. A lot of us have been terminated for less, so think it all the way through, and if you can, discuss it with an employment attorney. They can help you figure out if the risk is worth it for you. So I hope some of what we've talked about today can help you guys say what you need to your employer without hurting your chances of winning. I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, take care and hang in.